Mortgage applications. Why do they seem so scary? Why do they ask me so many questions? Why in the heck do they matter? Okay, mortgage applications, I get asked that a lot. First of all, I have no idea why, but people are terrified to fill out mortgage applications. Maybe because in your back of your mind, you're thinking to yourself, okay, so are they gonna turn me down? Or am I gonna fill all this stuff and then they're gonna say, you suck. Everything sucks, your credit sucks. Okay, first of all, if a mortgage professional is doing that, you picked the wrong one. Because people do not do that. Like, we want you to be able to get to where you want to be. We want you to get into a freaking house, right? Like, that's the goal. So, trust me when I say, nobody is thinking behind the scenes that, like, if you fill out a mortgage application, that we're going to go that route. Okay? So just take that out of your head. Yes, the questions may seem a little weird and a little scary or whatever, but honestly, I tell my customers all the time, just fill it out to the best of your ability. If you've watched any of the other videos that I've done, you basically know that the old 2, 2, 2, and 2 rule, like that's kind of the rules on documents, on mortgage application, it's a lot of similar stuff. 2 years, that's kind of the history we need, right? 2 years of a job and 2 years of where you've lived and things like this, okay? Most of the things, guys, you actually do know. I hope you know what your birth date is, social security number is. I hope you know what these things are, right? I hope you know them because those are the things that we're going to ask for. Why are we going to ask for those things? The reason we are going to ask for these things is you're asking us to loan you a lot of money. Would you want to loan somebody a lot of money if you didn't verify these kinds of things? I can promise you would not. I can promise if somebody came to you right now and said, hey, I want to borrow $200,000, $500,000, $1 million, whatever the heck the number is. You're not going to just take them on their word that, yeah, sure, I'll pay you back. I mean, no. You're going to want to verify some things. You're going to want to make sure that they can actually pay you back. Guess what? Us too. We just want to make sure you can pay us back, right? How do we do that? Well, there's a lot of statistical math and like behind the scenes mumbo jumbo that goes through the process, and that is going to be what tells us if you can qualify, if you have the stability to be able to make those monthly payments. And that's all really they care about. Can you make the monthly payments? And have we proven that you can make the monthly payments? So when you go through an application process, it's typically one of 3 ways. Choice 1 is going to be that you're going to do like a face-to-face interview. It's pretty old school. I mean, that's used to be how we did it back in the day because we literally had to do like paper applications. That was even before my time, and I've been in for like 20 plus years. But there used to be a time that was the traditional way. You can still do it. There's still loan officers out there, mortgage professionals out there who will do that for you if that's what you prefer. Just very, kind of cumbersome, time consuming, etc. Another option is phone. So we did this for many, many, many years where the internet really used to not be as big of a thing as it is now. So people went ahead and they talked to the mortgage professional on the phone, called them up, and in an interview type process, they ask all of these questions of them, right? And they put all that information in the system. Choice 3, and is honestly the most common right now in our market, is going to be an online application. So every application system looks slightly differently. That's again, we go back to the whole it depends kind of in the mortgage space. So each one asks questions a little differently. Sometimes they go exactly down how the application looks. Sometimes they try to do it in a little bit easier format. So like maybe they don't ask you the social as like the 3rd thing that comes out because that's scary and oh my gosh, are they trying to steal my identity? By the way, pro tip, no one's trying to steal your identity. We are tied up in so much red tape with licensing. We've got fingerprints. I mean, the federal government, like, if I did anything wrong, like, they will come and find me. I promise, okay? So no one's trying to steal your identity. Just saying. And if you're in the process of buying a house, guess what? You're going to have to tell us what your social is because we're not going to loan you money without it. Just saying. Got to have a way to track you down if you don't pay us. So that's how that's going to be. And then they're going to go through and they're going to ask you all of these questions. So be as detailed as you can. If they ask you the question, they're asking it for a reason. So if they ask you, hey, what is your employment number, right? Like the phone number for the place of your employment, for where you work. They're not just asking that for their health, guys. Like, they're asking it for a reason. In this particular case, they're asking because guess what? They're going to make sure you actually work there. Yep, you dang right. Not initially speaking, but at some point in the process, they're going to call up your job and they're going to say, hey, does so-and-so work there? And they're going to say, yeah, they do, or no, they don't. So that's why they're asking these questions. The better and more thorough you can be in that process, the better off you're going to be. Okay? We don't expect you to be mortgage professionals. You don't have to answer everything perfectly. We're gonna clean this up for you. Okay? So don't panic. It's not scary. Usually it takes like 10 to 30 minutes. Kind of depends on how much you know on the top of your head and how much you're gonna have to look up or ask. Okay? But it does not have to be this complicated, scary, I hate this process. It just doesn't have to be that way, right? You're simply going out there and trying to get the information you need to be able to buy a home or refinance a home or get cash out of your home. Any of these things, they all require an application. So you've got to start there and you've got to fill it out and you've got to do it in the best way you possibly can, okay? That is the way to go. And like I said, I get it. I know that sometimes it's a little scary. You're like, oh, but I'm putting my information out there on the internet and whatever. Okay, so make sure that whatever place you're putting it out there to is legitimate, right? That it's a legitimate company. I mean, there's ways we can do this. You can even call the company, right? And make sure that it's correct and that it's accurate, etc. So find somebody and a company that you trust and go ahead and fill out the application. And you go ahead and once you fill out that application, they're going to take you and direct you through the next step of the process, right? So that is basically what a mortgage application is. I'll go into the details of each piece of the mortgage application in as much detail as you want to listen to. And that way you can kind of go through the processes. But the mortgage application, in essence, what it is it's just an interview, right? It's kind of like filling out a resume, like an online, like when you fill out a resume, you know, and you go and you actually apply to the job, you know, they require you to fill out all that information so they can like do background checks and things like that. Guys, it's pretty much the same thing. We're just basically having you fill out a background check, if you will, so that we can verify the things in your life to make sure that we actually can loan you money and that we're going to do that. So that in essence is what a mortgage application is.